Does it show recording on your end, Phil?
Yep, it says recording on the top. Yep. Got it.
So this sheet here, I'm just going to recap and just slide through that first part again. So on here where you got the profit potential activities, that's where you're just going to put in the 3 profit potential activities that you feel as though will benefit you today. For the next 5 days, it could be the same. You can do the same 3 for the next 30 days. And then you're able to go back and look at the 3 and see out of the 3, which are the best. Then you put your energy into the ones that are producing the best and giving you the best results, right? So some people might say, I want to just stay focusing on Facebook, but you might really be getting better results on Instagram or better results on YouTube versus the one that you're using, right? So you use whatever you think them are, and then you narrow it down. Where you see the time underneath, that is for you to, when you put in your profit potential activity, to block off the time that you're going to use, the time you're going to commit to executing on these profit potential activities, and then whatever else you're going to put in there. And that's the first part, though. Then when we jump over to the other side where it says hot leads, them are going to be the ones that are just top on your list, where you know these are potential sales. They're on the fence. They're ready to say yes to you, but you just got to tip them the rest of the way. But they're pretty much ready to go. These are your hot ones, right? So we should always know what we have cooking. And if it's more than 3, great, but let's always focus in on three that we're going to really put some energy into, whether it's the ones that we got to nurse a little bit, we got to cater the relationship, whatever it is, but there should always be 3 hot things that's on your list every day as far as connecting with people. Your daily calls, right? Project the amount of calls you plan on making. If you say, plan on doing 50 calls, on the bottom, put the actual number, the actual amount of calls that you made. Same thing with appointments. You have a projected amount. You say this, today I want to set, 4 appointments. You might end up setting 1, right? Then you put the actual number in. Same thing when it goes to, proposals. We want to be able to send out as many proposals as possible. The more proposals we send out, the more deals we close. Then you look at the daily income, the projected income, same thing. What are you looking to make today, right? And then what did you actually end the day with? This is all going to fuel over to the profit potential activity, because that's tied into, the calls you make, the daily activity, the appointments. And what you're going to see is days where you make, 100 calls, you set more appointments, right? Over time, the better you get. The more calls you make, the more appointments you set, the more proposals you're sending out, right? And that's going to help you to get to that daily income. So you're going to be able to go back and track it and say, oh, last month I was making this amount of calls and we were setting this many appointments. Well, we were setting this many appointments because we was making this amount of calls. And you notice when the calls go down, your appointments go down. When the appointments go down, proposals go down and income goes down, right? You're not able to hit the number. So this is just a way for you to track it every day. And then on the other side, I'm grateful for. What are you grateful for? Just to keep that on your mind. So whatever stink you got on you, right? At least you when you look at this form, you're looking at the things that you're grateful for. Like everything might be going, a lot of stuff might be going wrong, but my focus is on the things that are going right. And if I keep doing the profit potential activities, if I keep knowing my hot leads, if I keep making my calls and setting appointments and sending proposals, then I'm going to make the income and them other pains will go away. But I have to recognize what I'm grateful for just to keep me going. And then on the side where you have your daily, whatever the daily mission is, the weekly mission, the monthly, and the yearly. And the reason, writing them down like that every day on every sheet is because your yearly is going to stay the same. You might add something to it, but it's going to stay the same. Your monthly is going to get you closer to it. Your weekly is going to get you closer to the monthly, and your daily will get you closer to the weekly. And it's just measurable, and you can actually knock them down, piece by piece, and then, put notes at the bottom on whatever adjustments you might need to make along the lines. That makes sense, Phil?
That makes perfect sense, yes.
So I try to make it as just very, very simple and remove all the thinking from it. But this here, I'm gonna send it out in a minute. I got a couple of things I just want to check on it, but I'm gonna send it out. And it's what I use constantly, just from staying accountable and knowing that the more calls I make, man, it's gonna ultimately, the more emails I send, things of that nature, it's gonna ultimately, reap the rewards. Same thing when I was talking about the morning Shondell, when I was talking about, doing the 20 a day, right? We're going into the last month of the quarter, where you should be approaching 1,800 people inside of your network of people that you reached out to. This is the crazy thing. Some people didn't stick with it, and we're coming into March, and by the end of March they would be at 1,800 people, but at the end of March they're going to be at 10 people, 20 people. They're not going to be nowhere near the 1,800 people coming in contact with. And now that means that your income suffered, and it slowed down the amount of time. It slowed down the amount of time that you're going to be able to buy your freedom back. And that's how I'm just looking at everything. Like, I'm not into the money. The money is cool, but I need the money to buy my freedom back. The money is attached to something. Talking to 20 people a day is attached to something. Making sure I'm making a certain amount of phone calls is because I'm attached to something, right? I'm telling you, to build your own distribution, right? Think about, like a lot of artists that don't own the masters to their music. You don't own the masters to your music. You're in a 360 deal. Everybody around you is making money. You're making pennies on the dollar because you didn't have nothing. You needed them for everything, right? It's different now. People are controlling their distribution because of social media, and they're able to charge more money. I'm telling you, control your distribution. Do things that's going to give you the names, give you the emails that you want. And it all starts with you just taking control and putting out the content constantly, right? And be able to get that information. You have to control that distribution part of it. So I really want you to pay attention to that from a marketing standpoint, right? From a marketing standpoint, what do you have, right? Let's do this. Everyone has a service, right, or a product. I want you, and Phil, you're developing your product, right? Shondell, you have a product, a service that you provide. So what I want you to do in your packaging, right? When you package it, do you have a list of your services, and then outside of your services, you have like 5 other things that are all automated, right? All automated, that you can give away over and over and over again, and it doesn't cost you anything to do so. It's just your giveaway. So you're selling the coaching program, you're selling the process, you're selling you're selling the hope and everything else, right? But what gets them to say, I need in regardless? What I want you to do is I want you to price your product, whatever that service is, your coaching service, your training system. I want you to price it. But then I also want you to take some of these other things that you have automated, and I want you to add them into the package, right? So you would add it in. Let's just say you had a 5 video course. You would add the 5 video course in and say, $129 value, free. Then you would add in another, and you would draw a line through it, right? However you do it. Then you would add in something else, an ebook, right? Or your book, free. A $30, $25 value added. Access to, let's say if you already do a group coaching call, you're already on the call, you're having the call regardless, right? You're getting them involved in a service that doesn't include your calls. But one of the things you add is, access to 4 calls, valued at, worksheets to help you do A, B, and C, valued at. So now you got an extra value that shows, $7.95. So you have a $7.95 value that's included at no cost to them. On top of what you're actually giving them, right? That you're taking your time to do is what you're charging. The other stuff that you put together is just to make the the Dale sweeter. It's just to sweeten the pot, right? Because just imagine if you went in and you see, you know, there's a name brand shoe that you like, and you see that shoe for sale, you're gonna be like, oh, buy one, get one free? Like, I'm in, right? Buy one, get one 30% off, 50% off. You're like, I'm in. This is what attracts you to, you know, when you're in the store and you're shopping and you see something that you want. So it's the same concept. When people look at it and they're like, whoa, the package already gets them like, whoa, this is beautiful. I love it. But then you get that thing that puts them over the edge. And they're like, oh my God, and I get this, this, and this. This is a no-brainer. That's how you put it together, right? That's how you get involved with more people, and you get more people to get involved with your product and service. Any questions? I want to share something else too. Let me see here.
Sounds good.
Can y'all see? Hold on, because I'm about right here.
I gotta tell you, I am so impressed. I just want to tell you that.
Come on, man. What, Phil? What happened? What I do now, Phil?
Yeah, I am. I mean, look at this, man. You're tooling around here like this is no problem. Look at all the stuff you put together. This is impressive.
Hey, we gotta make some money.
Look at this. You got watermarks on the right hand side. That's tough to do. Look at that.
Oh, you see that? You see that? I got talent a little bit. I was showing off.
Yeah.
My God, so funny,
that's like
I see it too, Phil. He's showing off.
Oh my God, I'm so impressed. Good for you, man. Good for you. This is awesome.
Hey, listen, Phil, we got to win, man. You know, we got to win. So listen. This is the thing. When you go through sales training and you're presenting and learning how to do all of that stuff, one of the things that is extremely big and pushed is selling benefits, right? Everybody always jumps to features, and they rarely do they go to the benefits and really push the benefits like they're supposed to, right? So if that's one of the things that's pushed hard, and one of the big principles of selling is the benefits, then why does half of the people not push it in their presentation? So even as speaking, Shondell, right? So I want to make sure when we talk about sales, I tie it in to speaking and everything else, and doing the presentation and doing videos, right? When you're doing videos, we always want to say what the features are, right? And that's where we focus at. We're really not giving people the benefits. And in order to give people the benefits from a speaker standpoint or a selling standpoint, you first have to know when you hit a core, when you hit a hot button with them, when you identify something that would be a benefit, not a benefit to you, but just knowing what your benefit solves, right? And we're going to talk about some of them in a second, but just looking at features are usually tangible, right? It's things that people can recognize, something that when you look at it, you don't really think about the benefit right away, right? People always talk about the product itself, and then they want to show you the product. And that's all features. It's great. Talk about the product, show what the product does, but them are just features of the product. That's nothing that the features aren't going to get me to say, I want to spend all the money on it. The features are going to say, oh, this is going to be something expensive. I know it is. Can I get it? How cheap can I get it? What's the discount I can get it for? Right? Think about when you see features on something, or when you present it, or when you showed somebody something and you're talking about the feature that says expensive, 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 extremely expensive, right? And that's all you're doing is picking that wall up. But when you're looking at the fact of benefits, people now that give me a discount goes out the window, because you just heard of tremendous benefit that it will have for you, right? So the reason why people skip over the benefits is because the features are more exciting. Let's just be blunt. Extremely exciting. When you look at, if you're looking at a car and you see the button, it's like, oh my goodness, I like that. Oh, look at the button, it lights up, it does this, right? And you're just amazed by that. Not so much how could I use this, or how could it be beneficial? You just want to be able to push a button, right? Features. So we sell features because it's easier and it's exciting. It's not getting down to the tough questions. Like when I was selling insurance, you know, the features of it are great. It's, you know, but when you look at the tough questions and you really want to get to the benefits, and you got to say to a wife, right, to the husband, you know, if you die, nobody wants to hear that, right? Tough question. But if you die, would you want your life's life to get worse, remain the same, or get better? There's only so many. Number one, we're talking about you dying. Number two, no matter how you truly feel, you can only answer that question so many ways in front of your wife, right? You can't say get worse. You either got to say remain the same or get better. And if you say remain the same, she's going to look at you and say, I want to live better, right? And if you say live better, she's going to say to you, well, of course I do, right? So, but there might be only two answers, and you're almost in trouble for saying remain the same. So you're going to say get better. So this is what the features does. So when you go to the benefits, now you tie it into an emotional core, right? Features can lead to assumptions. It's easy to assume that a buyer will connect the dots because it makes sense to us and we present it all the time. So we say, well, I said it in a way, it should be obvious, right? The benefits of it should be obvious. I'm telling you that, you know, we're going to put this in your store, and we're going to do this and this. Obviously, it's going to make you some type of money, or obviously it's not going to be a burden, right? Like we can't assume anything. We want to make sure we take all the assumptions off the table. Any questions on this part right here?
Well, I think that's interesting that you're saying to sell the benefits, because you're right. I always sell the bells and whistles, but I never sell the benefits.
Right.
Right. So we have to know what the benefits actually do, right? So look at it like this: when we're selling with benefits, features with benefits. So when I'm saying, you know, our 5-week student development program improves mental health in your students, the feature is our 5-week student development program. The benefit, tying it all into one sentence, improves mental health of your students. That's the benefit, right? So we can do features and benefits together in a sentence. But most of the time, we just want to highlight what we feel as though is the selling point of our product. You highlighting the selling point of your product does not mean that the person, or you going in to speak, or you going to do some work for them with a service, does not mean it appeals to them. So I can say, you know, improves mental health of students to somebody who that's an issue and that's something they care about at this present time. If it's not, then that's not a benefit. The 5-week program, okay, a feature, right? So the feature gets their attention, but the benefit has to be linked to something that matters to them. So if I'm talking to someone who don't want to be a public speaker at all, and I say our 5-week program, speaker development program improves your public speaking by building your confidence, then they're going to say, well, I don't want to be a public speaker, so that doesn't help me, right? But if I say a 5-week personal development program improves your chances of moving up through the corporate ladder, and that's what they're looking to do, I just got their attention with that benefit, right? So we have to understand the benefit of the person that we're talking to. When we're presenting to go in and speak, when we're standing in front of an audience and speaking, I want to present you with the features of what life could be, right? Of what life is. I want to tell you what life is, the features of what life could be. But the benefit comes in when I give you the steps to be able to do it. So now that I know I'm talking in front of the right room and I'm giving you the right steps, these become the benefits because you're able to take them and adapt them to your life and apply them, right? Same thing with a product or service. You want someone to get involved. Great. They like the feature. That's why you're there. You have to sell them on the benefit. When they look at it and they say, whoa, this really helps here, you're telling, I have a need for this. You just made it a part of their life, right? So a quarterly presentation will strengthen and maintain a strong culture. So again, the same thing, right? A feature, a quarterly presentation, that's the feature. The benefit will help you strengthen and maintain a strong culture. I'm giving you the benefit all in one. So again, if you're interested in strengthening and maintaining a strong culture, then this is something that will get your interest. It's a benefit. You're like, whoa, most speakers come in and they speak one time and they're gone. So I'm telling them, A quarterly presentation will help to strengthen and maintain a strong culture. If a culture is not important, they won't care. But if it is, they say, man, I definitely want to make sure, you know, I maintain it and I keep growing it and I keep it as strong as possible. I just struck a chord, right? So the last one is a titanium casing means less weight, but the same strength. So the benefit, the titanium casing, the benefit, less weight, but the same strength. So somebody who's worried about, you know, keeping the weight down so they can keep speed or so they can fly higher, whatever it is, but they still have the same strength, you just got their attention, right? So you always talk feature and you talk benefit. You link benefit to it as well. Any questions?
No, I like this.
So you talked. So you said you. Hey, Krishan, how you doing?
Hi, Phil.
My man got the radio set up. I got to get my weight up, Krishan. Every time I see Krishan over there, he got some new equipment. My man got the with the mic down. So, ladies and gentlemen, 95.5.
How y'all doing? Good morning.
I like that.
So every time you do a feature and then you tell them what the benefits. So I got the shiny penny, and you know this is great because of that, right? That's what you're saying?
Absolutely. So I want you to think about it like this. If somebody talks to you and they're telling you about something, in your mind, you're saying, what does this have to do with me, right? How does this benefit me? Again, remember, we're taking the thinking out of it. Anytime, especially us men, we don't want to think, right? Like women might overthink stuff. You might get a few men that overthink, but for the majority, we're the ones we're not overthinking. We're just going. We don't want to think about boom, go. So what I'm saying to you is take the thinking for it away from the people you're talking to. So the way you take the thinking away is how we was talking about before that, the persuasion, right? Selling the process and going through the process of closing the road to persuasion, the road to the sale. So it's the same concept. When you're talking to them, you're finding these hot buttons with them. You're finding what they want, what's important to them. So when you start to talk about the product and you're going over the feature, you know how this feature pertains to this client. So you can tie the benefit of that feature. Every feature has a benefit. Let's say you have 10 features on a product, right? The 10 features on the product most likely will not all matter to the client. You will start to bore the client. The faster you can identify the benefits that apply to that client and talk about them benefits, the faster you can close the deal. Because they're not going to get bored, they're not going to get restless and listening to a bunch of stuff they don't even care about. So it's just identifying what them are, and then you're giving them benefits off of them features, right? If I'm selling a car and I'm talking to a lady, 60 years old, don't look like she's in the heavy metal or some rock music, or she's in the music like that herself, I'm not going to talk about how loud the system is. The benefit is not it being loud. She's like, oh my God, I want to hear when I'm driving, right? I'm going to talk about the clarity of the music, how you can hear every instrument. She's older. She's like, I want to hear the music. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to be able to feel it in there. So I want to talk about the benefits of the clarity of the music. And she's going to be like, oh my God, I like it. It's so nice. I want to tell her how she can lower the bass because she don't want all that bass in her ear, right? She wants it to be crystal clear. So I'm going to talk about how easy that is. So now and again, right, what's one of the big things? A lot of technology. So you want to simplify it and you want to say, okay, but listen, there's a whole bunch of stuff here, but you only need a couple of buttons and it'd be very easy for you. This button will help you to do boom, 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 and that would allow you to have access to, right? Now I gave her the benefits. She's like, oh my God, Pierre, it's only one button. Thank you so much. It looks complicated. I removed all of that. I know what she's not going to use. I know what she needs. She'll learn the rest on her own. Otherwise, I'm creating a bunch of, oh my God, I think I got to think about this. This is just too much. I heard that too many times. I don't want to hear that anymore. I want to hear, wow, let's move forward. I love this. How do you do that? You simplify everything. Take all them thoughts away, right? So benefits, a feature. First, find out. We talked about that before, developing your questions to be able to find out the information that you need that makes them tick. And then now you take that information and the amount of questions you ask and you give them, once they answer them, the amount of benefits that you give them back. Right? Let's not overcomplicate this thing. Let's make it very simple. And I'm gonna put that sheet out so y'all have that sheet. I'll make it available. Just a minute. I just gotta tighten up a couple other things on it to format, and then I'll send it out. But let's make sure that road to the sale. The video is it's in the group. So look at it. Fill your stuff in. Put it in there. I'm working on the flow chart. I had showed y'all the flow chart the other day. The flow chart, I'm gonna share that. That and the other sheet with the calls and everything and mapping out the day. That's for another program, but I'm gonna make sure that y'all get it, as well as the flow chart. I just gotta finish it because the transitions, I wanna write the transitions in and put all that together. So once you have it, the only thing you would have to do is take the steps from your business, right? Your starting point, your qualifying, your negotiating, put your stuff in these sections and then make it flow the same way. And then you can also use it to where if you needed to do follow-ups, whether you was using MailChimp or something else, you can also set in your automatic emails and have them flow through there as well and make it very easy. This is the thing, when you get these things, some people say, I don't have a team and I can't work without a team. I need people to do this and do that. So, and I was in that situation, like, man, I just got to get a team. So putting the flow chart together helped me to better organize. So things I would have needed 2 people to add into the situation, I don't need 2 people. There's stuff that you can automate and you can take and eliminate the need of 2 people and just have the one person that's working it. So 2 people can do the job of 4. Do the job of 6, right? Because you can eliminate the work for 2 for each person. So with that flow chart, you're gonna see it, how the in between the transitions, and some of that stuff you'll be able to automate that you won't even have to touch. You'll just have to worry about like the last steps of it. And then at the completion, you don't have to touch any of that. All of that part goes all on automated. Right, so you're just really working with them in that starting stage. After the starting stage, you're going to the qualifying stage, right? So on that qualifying stage, the start stage obviously is getting them in, right? Getting name and number, getting all of that stuff in. The qualifying is you getting them on the phone, them answering the questionnaire sheet, however you set that up, right? Do they go to that next level? Do they even get a proposal? Do they even, do you even go into negotiation with them? If you do go into negotiation, so in your qualifier, whatever you're going to give them for free, whatever you're going to give them, however you're going to vet them, do they need to make a certain amount of income? Do they need to, show a certain amount of commitment level to you before they qualify? Are they truly interested? Do they have to buy an initial something, right? Because when people spend, now they start to get involved, right? If they don't spend anything, they're really not involved yet. But when they come up and they, do they have to spend, buy your first 5 videos, right? The first 5 videos that you have for, $9.95 to, $19.95, whatever it is, do they have to get that first? Whatever your qualifiers are, it would all go in your transition from the start to that qualifying point, and then you would move them right on down. So by the time it gets to you and you're able to talk the negotiation with them and talk the numbers with them, or whoever handles that in your team talks the numbers with them, by the time it gets there, it's serious. You're not wasting your time. You're flushing them out way up here. By the time you get them down here, they're already at the point where they're like, oh, we want to move forward. We're ready to move forward. We was just looking for one more piece of information, versus you dealing with them all the way up here in the starting point, and you got a lot of people that's just, coming out kicking tires today. They just want to come out and just talk to people. They're doing all the research. Your gatekeeper is up here at your qualification. What makes you qualify? First thing you got to do is you got to download this so I can get your name and get your email and get your phone number. If I don't get your name, email, and phone number, you're really not serious, right? If I can just get your name and your email, then I get your phone number later. However you want to do it, but you have your qualifiers that get them down before they can even get to you, right? Because if they don't put the information in, they haven't fully bought into you. They have not fully bought into you if they don't put their information in there. If they bought into you, they'll give you their name, email, and phone number. Why not? Right? So you want to keep making sure the ones that come to that point, you target them with emails if they don't come back down. So I'm going to put that flow chart out, and I'll do the transitions and put the transitions into the way that I'm using them. You can adjust them to fit you. Remember, everything is customizable. Everything's adjusted. Any questions, comments?
I like that here because like I think I told you about the women's online group that I created, and now like there's 40 something women. So this group, like I don't invite anybody, it's all word of mouth. So what I was thinking about was how do I get these women that I don't know, you know what I'm saying, to buy in, because it's kind of easy to get people who see you and kind of know what you're about to buy in versus just total strangers that somebody invited to the group. So I like that piece because it's like a commitment. Like if they can't give you their name, email, and phone number, then they're just trolling.
Yeah.
And I don't want to waste my time with them. So I'm definitely going to utilize this action piece with reaching out to the new women.
Yeah, no, absolutely. We want to make sure our time's spent with the right people. So we got to learn to automate some of these things. The next thing that I want to do, and remember when we're doing that, we want to bring people in. The same concept goes with the video format, right? The same thing. Remember, features and benefits. So when you pick who you're talking to and you say, yep, this video is for, XYZ group, that means that they are now, what would be a benefit to that group? This is why it's important to know your group. What would be a benefit to that group? And when you know what a benefit to that group is, you don't have to know anything else, right? You need to know what group you're talking to and then how what you're doing will benefit them. And when you do the video based on talking to this group of people, your feature is something that pops out. So if you said, a safety switch, we're just talking about like a group of people and you're thinking about a factory or something like that. If you said to someone, this is a safety switch to protect the workers. This is a safety switch to protect the workers. So a safety switch is the feature safety switch. Protect the workers is the benefit, right? So when you're doing the video, in your video, you're talking about your safety switch. What safety switch could you have for life, right? What's the safety switch? And again, right, I'm just using the safety switch, but what safety switch do you need to have on your life that would allow you to produce more at a faster rate, right? So the benefit, you'll be able to produce more at a faster rate. The feature is the safety switch, right? What safety switch do you need to take off? Do you need to switch on? Like whatever it is that would allow you to boom, 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 benefit. So in your video, when you want to bring more attraction to your group, to what you're doing, do your video like that. And then in the top, don't put caption inside of the video because you can't push it out as hard. Caption on the top of the video in the comment section. Now, there are some videos where you can put the caption in, like if you was posting it on the gram and you wanted to have the caption in there. But if you're on Facebook, and you don't always have to market, you don't always have to run a campaign. You can just boost to help you narrow down that market, right? So you can find out what market really works, and then you can retarget them later. But you boost that, and it's going to allow you now to get your message to, 4,000 women that you normally would have never came in contact with, that now know about your program based on the video that you put out, right? Same thing, Phil, based on the program that you have coming out for the ATM, based on Korshan doing videography, based on, Oliver doing Regroup for Change and helping people with their finances. You have to do them videos. Not only do you put them on Facebook and just boost them, and you figure out who your market is, but also them videos need to go on YouTube. You have to utilize YouTube, right? And it's free. YouTube's free. It's a slower grind, but when you build up your liking, like you notice, right? None of y'all see me really, y'all definitely ain't seen me go live on Facebook, on Instagram, on any of them. is because I'm about to launch the live that I'm going to do on my YouTube channel. YouTube produces better for me, and LinkedIn produces better for me versus Instagram. Instagram is going to get like a daily video from me, but I'm going to be putting out videos on YouTube and really, really getting the YouTube up. People are watching YouTube like it's TV, right? They're watching YouTube like it's TV. So you have a training, you want to get something out. It's inexpensive. The more videos you put up, YouTube gets paid off of that. In your descriptions, make sure you put a great description. I'm going to have somebody write mine. I'm not the writer. I'm going to be writing descriptions like that. Put your links inside of there. Google and YouTube are linked together. It's one. So the SEO gets picked up and everything else, and you get a lot more. I noticed something. If I Google my name, a lot of stuff pops up, and that's because I was doing a lot of YouTube work. When I stopped doing I haven't been doing really a lot of YouTube work. I don't have a lot of new stuff, even though I was posting on social media a lot, like Instagram and Facebook. My YouTube stuff is what has it to where you can Google my name and it pops up because it shows up in Google because of so many videos. So you will get free distribution by putting your stuff through YouTube and then putting your links in there and letting your video be the sales, be your sales team, because that video will never stop working. It will constantly work and keep going and going and going. And that's how at some point, think about it, when E did that video, As Bad As You Want to Breathe, it didn't go viral until like 3 years later, 2 years, 3 years later, because it caught on YouTube, right? You're doing a social media presence. The stuff on social media is going to get caught so far down in the timeline, so far in your timeline, nobody's going to see it after a while, right? Nobody's fishing that far in your timeline. If they do, then they're just bored as heck, right? But no one's going all the way down in your timeline. It just shows, oh, you're active. And that's great. But on YouTube, your stuff will pop up. There's times I was watching someone's video and one of my videos popped up as a suggestion. And I was like, uh-oh, right? Like, uh-oh, to come up. But this is what YouTube does. YouTube is going to constantly rotate your stuff as long as you're constantly posting, because they want you to post. The more you post, the more traffic you get to the more they can charge for advertising, right? So it helps them to boost their stuff up. So I'm not into I don't really care about the Facebook, and I'm gonna get back to posting on there. But for me, it's YouTube, and that's the reason. So you got to find that platform that works for you, and you got to work that platform.
So you think, I don't want to interrupt. So you think even if, let's say, right now I don't have the program to sell, just keep posting the videos, because eventually I will have the program to sell, and then we'll have all these videos, right? Is that what you're saying? Or not?
Absolutely. So it's just like how you put in the, you put the videos up, or you put a post up on the gram.
Yeah.
Like, listen, you can, you want to make sure, like, when you do it and you put the video up, take your autofocus off too, Phil, on your phone. You shoot with your phone.
Yeah.
Go into settings and take off autofocus, because every time you move it blurs in and out.
Okay.
But when you post on YouTube, you just want to make sure, you're doing a 10-minute video, 10, 12-minute video, right? And if you're doing a 10, 12-minute long video consistently, even if you're just doing one video a week, it's still going to, now YouTube's going to see that you're regularly posting and you're giving people tips, so they're getting to know you. So by the time you do launch the product, it's a world of difference, right? It makes a huge difference. And then for anything that's a service that you have, so just like Oliver, you got your free client. Take that. Look for like a nonprofit organization in your area that works with families, works with women, whatever it is. Look for a nonprofit, does stuff with kids, and see if you can get like a 4-week program of yours inside of there. That way you get the testimonials from them, you get what they learned. You get what they learned from it, where they started off, how they ended at the end, the different thought process. And now you use that to help sell it to other places, right? Sell the program to other places. Same thing when we're talking about the service. And I know we talked about it, and I got one of my the marketing company. We just I think next Monday will actually kick off and launch. But what we did is we reached out to some dentists, and we reached out to some small chiropractic offices as far as bringing in business. If we can send them, three leads apiece, would they potentially, allow us to be able to do the marketing for them? So offering out that free piece to send them 3 clients, no cost to them. Will they be able to, will they allow us to take a look at their stuff and do some marketing for them? Plus give us a video testimonial on the service that they got, on how them leads were that we sent to them. So now we will take that video from them for giving them the 3 free leads. We got the video. We take the video and we show it only to other dentists. The one from the chiropractor, we show it only to other chiropractors. That way now they become aware of us from a third party, someone who's in their lane, someone who does what they do. So what it does now is it allows us to get allows us the ability to be able to go in and talk to another potential client, right? So awareness. Once we get that awareness, we can go ahead and engage, and then we can ask for the sale. So that's one of the things, man, that's really, really, really working. So I promise you, taking the time to put the video together and be strategic, and just do a video for each group that you want to talk to, that each person you want to bring in, and you'll notice the world of difference, and it won't take you as long as you think it will. Just think about it. We're going into the 3rd month, and everybody didn't do the 20 people a day. Didn't do 10 people a day, didn't do 5 people a day. And at the end of the 90 days, the time went by, but the production didn't go up like it could have went up, right? So that's why I make sure to stay on top of my people every day. Days when I got more time, I put in more. So if I fall short another day, it can balance me out, right? Just thinking ahead, not knowing that things do come up, things do happen. So when I could overdo, then I overdo. If I can't, then I don't. But just know that the 90 days is about to pass, and just ask yourself, where are you, as far as the people you contacted? And if you contacted more, do you think it would be different right now? Right? Do you think it would be different? Do you think you would be selling a little more if you came in contact with more people? That's the crazy thing. The more people that know what you do, the more money you make. The more people that know what you do, the more money you will make.
Yes, that's so true.
Why would you not want more people to know about you? Like, right? It's not the whole thing is not complicated. And that's why I put the form together. So when you can see, the more calls I make, the more appointments I set. The more appointments I set, the more presentation, the more proposals I send out. The more proposals I send out, the more money I make. It's not rocket science. This thing it's simple. It's right in front of us, right? So that's all we got to do. Talk to more people, and you'll make more money. So let's tie it into that. When you say, I don't feel like talking to nobody today, I want you to go home and tell your family, like, yeah, you know what? I really don't want to make y'all no more money. I don't want to make y'all no more money. Like, I'm not using my reach like I can. I haven't really perfected the video. Like, listen, do the study yourself. Do the study, pull it up. How many people are watching YouTube on a daily basis? How many people are watching videos? What gets more engagement? Is it videos or is it post? Right? Like, look these things up. And when you see it, you're going to, like, it's not like people want. I asked my kids the other day, I said, hey, if we turn the cable off, would y'all care? They're like, no, we watch YouTube and we watch the Fire Stick, right? They watch everything else. They don't care about the cable. But we got it. They're on YouTube. They're watching YouTube all day. I'm watching my kids, they're on YouTube. You go out somewhere, they're on YouTube. Like, you gotta have videos. You gotta have videos up there. So take time, do the videos. Facebook Lives, it's great. It's wonderful to do the Facebook Lives. It's wonderful to do the Instagram Lives. It's wonderful to do that, right? Wonderful to post. And you can don't stop doing it, but don't avoid YouTube because there's a lot of people there and you got room to promote and piggyback off of what other people are doing on there. That's what I got this morning. If there's any questions or comments.
All right, so the answer to that, just so you know, so there's 5 billion videos are watched on YouTube every day, 5 billion. And there's 300 hours of video are uploaded every minute, 300 hours.
See what I mean? Like they're there, they watching them. They watching them. You listen, you can look up videos and see a video that got a whole bunch of views and then take that video, look at the description of that video. You can mimic the description of the video. Take like the stuff out. Don't duplicate the whole daggone thing. But you can take portions of it and do a video on that topic. On that topic, using the same hot words that they use inside of their description. They're already getting a lot of views. What do you think happens to that now? Your video begins to show up. You see what I mean? Like piggyback off of what's out there. Do a topic on that. You see somebody talking about ATM, something else in the financial district, something else about, of life coaches, right? How everybody got the title life coach, right? And all of this stuff. Like, yo, start to look at this and you do a video piggyback off of that and then put that out. It's not complicated. But you're getting into a pool of people in Facebook where it's gossip. People go to Facebook, but they're not going like, yo, let me go get motivated on this Facebook. You know what I'm saying? Like they go to Facebook to see what they can laugh about, see what, right? Instagram, they're going to watch the videos. YouTube, they're like, yo, let me go look for this education. Let me go see if this is on. Let me go see if this training is here. And then there's no presence there. So you got to have a presence there, not the same presence that you have on your Facebook and on your Instagram. So when I do YouTube, I'm going to do YouTube Live, but the YouTube Live, and I want to put it out today to post, but I haven't really like nailed down the name. But it's going to be fifth quarter something, but I want it to be like just what it is. So I'm still working on the name part, but I'm going to put that out. My lives are going to go on there. If I'm going to do 30 minutes, if I'm going to do 20-minute lives, 15, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, I'm doing it on there. I'm not doing it on Facebook no more. It gets lost, right? And nobody finds it until somebody shares it who's sitting there bored one day and just keeps strolling. But if you're posting 2-3 times a day, you know how fast something will get lost in your timeline? I'm out, right? So, but that's just me. I still use it, but YouTube's the place to make sure you put videos up. Don't leave it out. Yeah. Anything? Y'all good? Did that help today?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
It helped, and I'm waiting for the replay.
Me too, Bill.
All right, cool. I got it. It's I did record it. Good. I backed up. Phil almost had me sidetracked where I didn't get the recording, but I got it. So
Hey, real quick, can we get the radio personnel's voice before we go? Go ahead, Korshawn. Signing off.
Hey,
There it is.
What did you ask for again?
He was looking for the radio voice.
Hey, you are now tuning in to the Fifth Quarter Living Movement call. And if you missed it, you will have the opportunity to catch the replay later in the private Facebook group. We're looking forward to hearing from you and getting some feedback from you.
Hey, you see how you see how his button is over to the side too, like he up in the studio.
But look, he had the Steve Harvey lean, like, hey, y'all. I love it.
Hey, real talk, man. I'm prepping for something bigger. Gonna be doing some podcasts. I've heard about The Voice, so I got to make sure that I capitalize on that. So as you can see, I'm getting ready.
Hey yo, what you about to have? Late night with Korshawn? Late
night with Korshawn. It's smooth, man.
Because what he said was he's getting ready.
Late night with Korshawn. I love it. Yo, listen, we're gonna do it again on Wednesday. All right, real quick, what's today? Today's Monday.
Yep.
What does everybody have this week? If there's one thing you need to get done, what's that one thing? What's the one thing you're gonna do?
I gotta figure out how to give my product away to two more people and reach out to the nonprofit.
Yeah. All right. Yep.
Right
I'll
now.
find out what my giveaways are.
Okay. Yep.
Right now for me, I'm on this ClickFunnels mission. So I joined that, and I'm attacking that content hour a day. So I got to put my hour in a day and basically build that value ladder. That's what I'm on.
Yep. Phil.
Is it me?
Yes, sir.
All right, so I'm just making another video, just trying to get one a week up. That's what I'm trying to do. So, Krishan, I sent it to you so you can look at it too.
Oh, okay. I got you.
All right.
Yeah.
I'll jump on that right after.
Can we, Mr. Evans, can we chat right after the call too about the video?
Yeah. I'm gonna get back to my weekly videos on YouTube, and then also like daily videos I'll be doing on YouTube as well. And then also, I told you by next Monday I'm looking to launch the marketing side of it, the marketing program, and culture development. I switched everything as far as corporate. No motivational speaker, no professional development, no personal development. That's phooey. Everybody and their mama says, motivational speaker, professional development, all of that, right? Culture development. When I started to look at corporate, started to talk to corporate, talk to a lot of people, the biggest thing that a lot of them, when I did a survey, is when you talk culture development, they're like, man, the culture's broke here. This is what we're struggling with. It creates a whole nother level of conversation versus personal development. Oh, what part of personal development? It's like, I'm sick of hearing personal development. Do you do something different, right? I switched to culture development, and the response is huge. So that's what I got going for this week. Let's make sure we stay on task with what we got. Let's not just write it down today. Let's read it before we go to sleep. Read it when we wake up, so we can have it fresh, and we're thinking about it, and then get to work with it. If you got to look at it throughout your day to remind yourself, you find yourself getting lost. Like Korshan said, an hour a day. It's not a whole bunch of time, but the hour, when you commit to the hour and you shut everything down, when that hour comes, you're building a level of discipline. You start to see the results. When you start to see results, you start to fall in love with the discipline even more, right? Most people don't get disciplined enough, and because they're not disciplined enough, they fall out of love with what it is they say they want to do because they're not putting any time into it. You're just missing day after day after day, no commitment to it, right? So make sure you get fully committed to what it is you say. Write it down and read it when you go to sleep, you wake up, and just get it done. Get it done. I don't care how tired you are, how you feel. Get it done, daggone it.
Hey, real quick, man. I just want to tell you, it's still paying dividends. Still to this day, the work we did, a couple years ago, is still paying dividends to this day. Communicating with different people on different platforms, the work is still paying dividends. So whether you're doing a video, whether you are just working on your brand for an hour, or your marketing, man, that work that you put in is going to be paying dividends years later as long as you keep on doing it.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's why as much content out there as possible, right? Much content as possible. Just keep putting it out, and be strategic. Treat it like a clothing line, right? Or like what do they call a collection, right? So when you come out and you're going to do 5 videos, you're doing a video a day for this week. Tie them videos in together, right? So when you're doing a video on Monday, the follow-up is Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So every day they know they're getting a part of something and it's connected. So now when it's connected, it makes them want to keep tuning in to get it, right? So do it in series, do it in collections, right? This week we're going to break down, boom, Next week, we're going to break down boom, right? And then you break these things down and stay on it for a week. Get the people coming back to hear it. So you're not just giving them something here and here and here and here and jumping all around on them. Stick to it. Even if you just do today and tomorrow is the same, the next day and the next day is attached to today and tomorrow, right? But make sure you get it to where it's something people just really want to stick to. All right? Y'all have a good one, and we will talk on Wednesday. Phil, you just stay on, Phil, for me.
Thanks. Have a good day, guys.
All right.